Yeah, kind of look like a couple of dragons.
Come on, baby. Keep smoking. Oh yeah, I got a number over here. Look at that.
The last week, sleeping in the car. I'm gonna pull this out of the way. Show you the back. Alrighty guys, I made it to what is my campsite with what's left of my bucket. There's the lid, another piece of the lid. Here's a bag that was in the bucket. Shotgun shells, torn apart. Another one, torn apart. But the cordage is okay. That shotgun shell's okay. The seeds are torn apart. What I don't get is those were in this bag, and this bag's only got one little hole torn in there. How did all that stuff that was in this bag get tore apart? I mean, there's a ramen noodle that, I mean, still appears to be okay. It's still soft inside. Still, I mean, still hard, I should say. It still sounds fresh. A couple of Spam packs that were thrown down the way, they still sound okay. Mountain house seems to be okay, no holes. I don't understand how things that were in the bottom of the bucket are more tore up than stuff that was in the top. Yeah, that's destroyed. I mean, coffee, salt, matches. These were in this bag, this pouch. That's destroyed. I mean, toilet paper's still there, but probably got about a gallon of water soaked into it. Yeah, I just don't understand how some things are perfectly fine that were packed around other things that are totally destroyed. It's almost like somebody dug the bucket up and set it out there for it to be lined up in front of this frickin' thing that destroyed it. I don't know. I mean, what are you gonna do? I had onion seeds and tomato seeds and stuff in there, and it was buried, you know, at least 3 inches underground, and the ground all around it is okay. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me that this bucket got pulled out of the ground. Well, the ground around the bucket is not disturbed. I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me at all that how that could happen. So, but yeah, I mean, one shotgun shell out of the bunch is, I mean, probably still shootable, even though it's a little bit deformed out around, a little oblong. But yeah, the other two are totally destroyed. Gunpowder's gone, shot's gone, but the cordage is okay. Yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me how that can happen. Not like that. So, I don't know, but that's the end of that bucket, and the end of that padding, and the end of that sweatshirt. Lesson learned. Live and learn. Yeah, that's one thing that I really don't understand. Everything's destroyed but food and the cordage. All the food is okay. All the food is okay and the cordage is okay. Everything else is destroyed. Even the sweatshirt. What good is the food if you freeze to death? I mean, every single piece of cordage is okay. The food's okay. I mean, even the ramen noodles. I really don't get that. How can that happen? How can that happen? The only thing, oh well, the drink mixes were destroyed, but they're not important. They're just drink mixes to make your water taste better. But all the food, the Mountain House, the 2 packages of Spam, and the ramen noodles are perfectly fine. Not a mark in them, not a hole in the package, nothing. Makes no sense to me. It's almost like somebody did it on purpose. I've got rain coming. Got my hammock set up. Tarp set up. I'm really worried about chiggers because of all these weeds down here. I sprayed my pant legs and socks down with DEET really well. I heard that sulfur is a natural chigger repellent, and with all the coal that I've found on the train tracks out there, I'm thinking about throwing some coal in the fire because it can't hurt. Coal's got a lot of sulfur. I've been up all night. I got my tarp up over here over top of me. See our backpack down here, sitting on some sticks. It's supposed to rain. Tripod over here. Cordage. Everything else in the bucket I burnt in the fire. Everything else was ruined. I put the bucket in the fire. What else you gonna do with it? I mean, other than the food. If the mice don't get the food tonight, they haven't got the food however long since they tore up my bucket. I can't believe that tree shredder went 3 or 4 inches into the ground to pull that bucket out. But apparently it did. But yeah, I got cordage there and I burned the bucket. Well guys, it's Saturday morning. I'm just kind of laying here in the hammock. Oh, thinking about getting up and getting something to eat. But I don't know if I want to take the tarp down yet. I keep checking the radar on my phone and looks like there's more rain coming this way, so maybe I'll hang around until the afternoon before I go home. I do have my umbrella either way, but I'm in no hurry to get home. Nothing to do when I get there anyway, really. Play on a computer. It's a really bummer about my bucket yesterday. Yeah, whatever they used to trim the sides of the train tracks, they really must have ground it into the ground. And probably almost uncovered it. And then with all the rain, the ground might have been wet, water in the hole, made the bucket float up. It's the nearest thing I can think of, is that bucket had to have floated up. And I'm sure it wouldn't have with all the rocks I had on it originally. But if it was sitting in water and they knocked the rocks off, it very well could have let that bucket float up a little bit, enough for their machine to catch it and shred it. So, yeah, live and learn. I won't bury anything on the side of the train tracks again. So, next time I'll go a little farther into the woods or something. But, oh well, I'm gonna just kind of relax here a little bit, listening to the deer off in the distance, kind of huffing at me. I heard some geese over there. My can holder, using my tripod. But just kind of laying here listening to the birds. And the deer, that's what woke me up. The deer were out in the woods snorting at me. But I heard some geese off in the distance over here. There's a pond, oh, I don't know, maybe half a mile from where I'm at, if that. I'm sure that's where they were. But the tarp is starting to dry out. But, like I said, there's more rain coming. It's still wet back here. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens after I eat. I had to grab my my new night vision camera for this because my old camera, for some reason, I can't leave it even on the side of the hammock in the pouch at night. It doesn't like the cold or the humidity or something. If I don't sleep with it in the hammock next to me, it doesn't want to work in the morning. And I didn't think about that when I went to bed last night. I just stuck it in the pouch with my phone and zipped up my bug net and went to sleep. And then I just pulled it out a few minutes ago. I've been messing with it for a few minutes, tucking it up under my arm, trying to warm it up, but it still don't want to work. So I had to dig this one out of my backpack. But either way, still record the shot. I'm gonna lay here and finish my Monster Energy drink and cook me something to eat. I'm hungry. Well, I was camped out there in the woods, and it's still kind of damp in there yet. So I'm packing my stuff up, lay my tarp out here on the rocks to kind of let it dry. It's dried about 75% of what it was. It was all wet down there on that corner, and it was all wet in here. It had standing water on it. So it is drying. I'm gonna get things packed up, and then I'm just gonna probably hang out for a while. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Sprayed my legs and feet with DEET and put my shoes and socks on. I climbed out of the hammock and I said, nah, I'm going home today. I'm not super hungry yet. I've only been awake just a short while. So I figured while it's dry, before it starts raining, if it's gonna, that I would go ahead and get packed up first, and then I can sit around and get something to eat and decide what's next. Yeah, it's still a little damp right there. A few more minutes, maybe 10 more minutes. It should be dry. The other side was already dry. But I probably will just go ahead and flip it over for a few minutes. After I get this side dry, probably go ahead and flip it over for a few minutes, just to make sure the other side's dry. Last thing I want is my new tarp molding. So, yeah, almost dry. A few more minutes. Well, that's it. The more I look at the radar, the more I see the rain coming in. So instead of cooking breakfast, we're gonna eat a few snacks and head on home. Probably, I don't know, probably an hour and a half walk home. Hopefully I make it before the rain, but I don't see it happening. At least not before there's some sprinkles anyway, because it's pretty close on the radar. So we're gonna see how far we can make it before we gotta rely on the umbrella. Well guys, I made it, the hike down the tracks. Very warm, very humid today. I've sat here under the bridge, cooled off a little bit. Let my shirt dry out, soaking wet from sweat. And now it's time to head on home. I just checked the radar. I should be all right for the probably, I don't know, 35 to 45 minutes that it'll take to hike home from here. The radar looks pretty clear. I mean, there's some dark clouds out there, but nothing too ominous. So I'm gonna put my backpack back on, climb up on the road, and head on home. Wow, I didn't make it home but about 5 minutes, and it started raining. I guess I timed that perfect. 5 minutes home and it's raining. So, time to edit video.